Hello, everyone. Welcome to Across the Bifrost, the Mighty Thor podcast, where on each and every episode we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. I am one of your hosts, Ryan Doze, and on this episode today, we are going to be reviewing the 4th issue of the Knull limited series brought to you by Ewing and Tom Waltz. This is one of our lead-ups to the crossover event Queen in Black that is coming this summer. Going to be a fantastic, we're going to say Thor adjacent series, because we're going to be getting Hela, we're going to be getting Beta Ray Bill, and as of last week,
I heard that on the breaking news. I heard that on the breaking news.
The internet was awash with befuddlement and wonderment at our breaking news segment. I'm sure everybody saw it, but we broke the news first. Remember, Eric? Because they told us they thought no one else can be trusted with this information.
That's absolutely possible.
It is 1,000% false. But we are going to be reviewing Knull issue 4. This fantastic limited series has been kind of a smash 'em up character growth. I don't want to say character growth, maybe character leveling up of Knull. Because I don't think Knull
is literally a glow up. It's literally a glow up.
Yeah, it is a 5-issue glow up series. And wow, we got
we can also
gnarly Mortal Kombat fight in this one.
Splash. Face plant splash. Like, talk about like face explosions. Yeah. Talk about that
now,
too.
Will, Eric and I have reviewed a few of these together. What have you thought of the Knull series so far?
Well, I think Knull Legacy number 4 is like a Mortal Kombat video game smash up. And you know, if we're going to glow up Knull literally, then why not put him through these different tests of literally, like, how does he get there leading up to? I just like this miniseries. Like, I think the art and, you know, Al is and Waltz are doing great with in terms of the witty banter back and forth between people who are literally fighting each other to see who can stand at the King of the Hill or Queen of the Hill at the very end of the series to see who's going to go up against the Queen in Black. And I just really love it. I mean, again, I say this a lot, but like, there's a reason, like, I love comics as a medium for storytelling and entertainment. And it's comics like this that keeps me coming back to comics. Like, sometimes I read comics out of habit because I just love the characters, and I go on Wednesdays to my comic store and see the people that I love to hang out with and talk to and get my normal comics. Some of it's out of habit, but it's comics like this that surprise me, that I'm like, oh, this is why I read comics from panel to panel. The art, the creativity, the craft behind it is really fun to see how it leads to the next thing. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Couldn't agree more. Eric, I know we've been enjoying Knull so far, and it's kind of given us the opportunity to deep dive on some Venom lore, a little bit of Knull lore that went back to the Jason Aaron run of Thor with All Light. But has this issue given you sufficient homework and a book report to do for this issue?
No, the opposite, actually. This issue did all the research for me, because they very clearly explain in the early panels exactly the events of the Venom Original Sin Infinity comic. So now you don't need me to tell you what happens. They explain all that. So,
and I so appreciated it.
This is called
I was like, I don't know what's going on,
cleaning
and
up
for them
the
to
continuity.
explain it, so good. Like, yeah, thank you, creative team. Like, I needed that.
They did it in 5 panels, 4 panels. What took me, a little while to read through you got everything you need. 4 panels.
Awesome.
Here you go.
I mean, I hate to have you on retainer for this task, but then for a comic to
what a waste.
Do its job, God, it's disappointing. But I've loved this series so far. Really, Juan Ramirez has been the thing that keeps me coming back to these books, because his artwork is so stellar and it's so different. It is a Mortal Kombat level brutality, but with that kind of flowing, painted looking style. It's very unique. It's very interesting. I want to look more into what he's done before and what he is going to do after this. I'm very curious. But Eric, before we give our takeaways, I'm going to let the listeners know who the creative team is, give a little bit of a synopsis. And then we will each kind of hot potato our takes, and we will let you know what we thought of Knull number 4. So Knull number 4 was written by Ewing and Tom Waltz, art by Juan Ramirez, colors by Eric Arcanigia, letters by VC's Clayton Coles, cover by Ryan Stegman and Frank Martin. Inside the Light Force dimension, the illuminated Eddie Brock welcomes Knull and proposes that the villain could be more than just the god of the void. He could choose a path of redemption. Knull quickly rejects this offer, sparking a bloody personal rematch. Knull stabs the all-light spear through Eddie, triggering the Illuminated's rage. A sick wardrobe change and a wave of cursing follow as Eddie returns the violence. After several cycles of visceral combat, Knull uses the spear to electrocute Eddie with cosmic lightning, thus baking him. Eddie is destroyed by this baking, a reference that Knull makes with apples in this issue. This is the setting of Eddie's star. Knull emerges from the Light Force dimension with a massive power upgrade, now able to control all light, literally, and even the stars themselves. No sooner has Knull taken in his new power than Thanos' ship appears. The Mad Titan acknowledges Knull's new status, but warns the embodiment of light that he too has upgraded. The two lock eyes, preparing for a rematch of their fight from earlier in the series. So I did not see the Thanos return coming, but wow, it was, I'll be honest, this was all gas, no brakes. Just go, 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 go. Eric, we left off last issue's review, breaking down like what the Lumina is, what the Illuminated is. Did we need any of that for this fight? Because it was spectacular.
I mean, all we needed to know was that, this is a version of Eddie and Knull hates Eddie, right? So that's enough to get you going here. But this is the godly, elevated, ivory tower version of Eddie, and Knull kind of calls him on his shit, and he's like, "Wait a second, you're reacting with more violence. You're not so above all this like you think you
bullshit,
are,
man."
And he's like, "You can be redeemed. You will be forgiven." And Knull's like, "Yeah, nuts to that. I'm just gonna kill you and take your power."
Shut up.
Eddie gets mad real fast.
Yeah, shut up. So I love that. I love the lines of "shut up" and I love "how do you like them apples." It's just, when it comes right down to it, it's two boys just having a petty fight on the playground.
Yeah.
The playground just happens to be the Light Force dimension.
You're not invited to my birthday. You're not invited to my birthday. Let's punch each other over this. It was a really visceral fight, and maybe we should just go all around. Like, what was our favorite part of the fight between Eddie and Knull? Will, what was your favorite part?
Well, like, part of it is like, I love that in the background are these petrified like celestials that are just hanging around.
Yes.
Like, and I'm like, okay, towering over him. But I also love that, like, Eddie Brock was speared with this light spear and then fights half the comic with it still in his chest. Like, I'm like, oh, is that still in him?
Still in his chest.
It's like, not that he takes it out and fights with it or like reclaims it. Like, oh, now this sword is mine. Like, no, he just fights with it, just speared in the middle of his chest. It's so good. But yeah, the banter back and forth and the fight is just outstanding. There's not much more lore there than just like, I love the explanation that's there, and these celestials of letting you know that it's a different level of, these aren't like two mortals from like Mortal Thor or two superheroes fighting. These are like godlike figures with these mythological Legos being put together by Al Ewing, and then dropping them on the floor and see what happens. So like that for me was fun. Yeah.
Eric, what was your favorite moment from this Eddie Knull rematch?
I was gonna say the double eye stab, but I think I'm gonna go with there's a page where Knull looks like he is a snake with his bottom jaw detaching, and everything is exaggerated. Like it's after Eddie has been lightningified and is a, almost like Deadpool looking
Yeah,
bald,
like he's
burnt,
got a
mangled,
burned, scorched
figure.
head. Yeah.
And he looks like he's gonna swallow his face whole with like a cobra mouth.
Yeah.
So and I love the art that's willing to, just break the form rules of like composition and how you would draw anatomy. Like we can play with that and throw it out the window because Knull is this, more existential, terrifying
Right.
kind of creature. And so I love the exaggeration there.
He's way more abstract than maybe I've even been giving him credit for. Because you're right, Eric. When he becomes more the serpentine version of himself, I'm like, gosh, this is where I think Juan Ramirez's art really shines, because he makes Knull look so creepy and just unsettling. Eric mentioned it. My favorite part of the issue was.
Sorry, Ryan. Like the other scary part is like not only can he be in the void in the darkness, but now he's in the light. So my nightmare is not only in the darkness, but also when the lights are turned on. Like how is he going to be able to go back and forth like that? That's pretty scary. That's pretty scary.
Like there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
I loved the part that Eric alluded to as well, of the double eye stab. Like that. Here's the thing. There's very few characters that I'm just like, hooray, double eye stab. But it fits Knull for Eddie to be like, I've seen the light and I've had this path to redemption and you can have it too. And Knull's like, haha, nuts to you. Double eye stab with these daggers I got from nowhere. It's just like, gaga. It just seems like Knull to do that. It's just like, God, I hate Eddie Brock so much. I'm gonna stab him in the eyes. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's showing he's not. There's a lot of villains we talk about, and there's villains who get redeemed, and sometimes that works. Knull is not a villain that we need to be redeeming right now. He can still just be a horrible, terrifying villain, and that suits him just fine.
Yeah. There were also times in this issue where I almost thought he looks like the Marvel Comics version of Dracula in this.
Yeah.
Where I just kind of like was thinking, oh my gosh, this design is a lot like Dracula with the white hair, and I just thought that was kind of cool. But then at the end of the issue, guys, just to wrap up here, because we don't really have a solicitation to read for the last issue, but I feel like the end of this issue gives us a really clear path forward. Thanos is back and he wants his pound of flesh. He wants his rematch with Knull, and we see his ship. I believe it's the Sanctuary shows up. And Eric, what are you thinking will happen? What are we going to see, if you had to guess, from this upgraded Knull and Thanos being upgraded and repaired for their last fight in this climactic issue? Will showing us the Ryan Stegman cover for number 5, a creepy Knull on that cover, but. Eric, what do you think of what we can expect from the last issue?
I think Thanos is going to get spanked handedly again. He's going to get spanked immediately because he alludes to, I've had an upgrade too. BS, like there's no way you had as much of an upgrade as Knull just got. Knull just killed God Eddie and took his power and now controls all light, even radio waves, everything, right? He's the god of all the electromagnetic spectrum and everything in between.
Thanos is going to get friggin' stars thrown at him. Will, what do you think we have in store for us in issue number 5?
Well, there's not a solicit, but there's an ad that's like, Knull number 5, the god of the abyss receives a major upgrade, but not the one you expect. So I'm wondering what's going to happen there. Like, I definitely see Knull winning, but Thanos is Thanos going to play a role in Queen in Black? Is he going to be like a puppy crawling back to Hela to be like a sidekick for Hela to play in this?
I'm so sorry. It won't happen again.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. So that has me curious to bring him back. I really thought there was like, oh, the cool cameo out, then we're gonna get to Queen of Black, but for him to show up and then maybe show up in 5 and have a, and them to tease that this isn't the end, this is just like a midway point to get to the big event this summer, which will be fun. But I'm very curious how Thanos is not going to be taken off the board or maybe brought back on the board a different way. for Hela. And the summer event would be kind of cool too. So not sure.
I agree with you guys. We're definitely going to see a fight where Knull wins the fight, but to see how Thanos plays a role going forward, I'm very interested in that. I also think going forward, just to forecast a little bit, we are getting the Defenders of Light and Dark 3-issue limited series. And I wonder if the Lumina and the Illuminated Eddie Brock reappear in that, because the Defenders of Light kind of makes sense that Lumina would play a little bit of a role in that. That either they can power surge these heroes a little bit or something like that. I just don't think we're done referring to it or even seeing that dimension in this event. I do think the Lumina will show back up.
You don't think that this is Al Ewing and Tom Waltz going, hey, you know what? This the Illuminated Eddie is just a little Infinity comic creation by Steve Orlando. We can do whatever we want with him.
Hey,
we can just
how dare I speak against the Allfather? Just talking out my ass here about the Light Force dimension being important. Al's like, yeah, it's not important. But it's good. I think it's going to be a really fun culmination, and then we're going to get a preview in the free comic book day edition of Queen in Black #1. We're going to get limited series and one shots, and it's like Al Ewing is weaving a web of Venom all over this Queen in Black crossover, and we're very excited about it. If you want more details about Queen in Black and our opinions on what has come out about the crossover, we did do another video about that where we broke down kind of the updates that we've gotten about the event. But other than that, any other final thoughts, guys, before we close down this video and people go check out Knull?
I'm Googling anti-venom right now to see what I can get to protect me this summer. I'm really,
because Will has been bitten, and we need to get him the proper resources.
By bitten, that means more comics add to my pull list this summer. Great, thanks, Al.
He's just hoping he gets Spidey powers. That's really what Will's hoping. He just cares that he gets a radioactive bite that gives him powers. Eric, do you have any final thoughts for Knull?
Yeah, I take it back. I think Al Ewing is more of a yes and so I think if he wasn't just going to undo a Steve Orlando creation, he's probably mixing something up with it, and so who knows?
Well, everybody, thank you so much for checking out this review of Knull #4. If you want to reach out to us, we have Discord and Instagram links in the episode description. And if you want to support the show at the next level, we do have Patreon for just a small donation a month. You get early episodes, bonus episodes. And before you leave this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to help us kind of just grow our little YouTube channel that we've started recently, and leave a comment on what your favorite part of Knull #4 was.
And they say on YouTube that comments count more than smash that like button. If you comment, it passes in. So comments are better than smashing the like button. And then if there's some eccentric billionaire out there who wants to donate a couple $100,000 to get us all to a Comic-Con to do a panel together, we'll take it, y'all. We'll take it. We'll be happy to take that. Yeah. Go ahead. We'll be happy to do
Everybody, we're going to hop aboard the Bifrost here. And before we do, we're just going to say whether you are really looking forward to this Queen in Black crossover, or whether you're still a little skeptical, you need to be bought in a little bit more, whether you're on your first beer, your second beer, your third beer. I've lost track what we're on here. Whatever you're doing, whatever you are up against, whatever you're facing down, we just ask that you do one thing, and that is stay worthy.